It started like a whisper, a creeping sensation that something wasn't right. It wasn't just the flickering motion light or the odd placement of my trash can every morning. It was the air itself, thick with suspicion and the eerie sense of being watched. I'd lived in my suburban neighborhood for 3 quiet years without incident. That is, until Karen moved in next door. She arrived like a storm in pearls and pastel sweaters, armed with HOA bylaws and a superiority complex so big it needed its own zip code. At first, it was small things, a note on my car about parking too close to the curb, a complaint about my wind chimes being too loud, and passive-aggressive smiles that never reached her eyes. But things escalated quickly. One morning, I found my garden hose coiled into a knot. The next, my backyard gate wide open. I installed cameras, cheap ones at first, just enough to get a view of my driveway and back fence. But somehow Karen always stayed just out of frame. Then came the night my shed was unlocked and ransacked. Nothing was taken, but everything was touched. Tools strewn about, storage bins open, my late father's toolbox upside down. That's when I knew this wasn't random. This was personal. Karen wanted to break me. I confronted her politely. She denied everything, of course, with that twisted smile and an air of smug innocence. "Are you accusing me, neighbor?" she asked, her tone dripping venom beneath its sugary surface. When I mentioned the shed, she gasped like I'd slapped her. "You really should secure your property better," she said, before turning on her heel and disappearing into her fortress of petunias and pettiness. That same week, the HOA sent me a violation notice, an anonymous complaint stating that my fence was non-compliant. My fence, the same one that had stood for years. Coincidence? I didn't think so. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat by my window, lights off, watching my yard like a soldier in a war zone. And then, just after 3 a.m., I saw her, a figure slipping through the hedge line, flashlight in hand, her blonde bob unmistakable even in the moonlight. She tiptoed like a thief in a silent film, her movements calculated and oddly confident, as if she believed she had every right to be there. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe. I watched as she ducked beneath my motion sensor, clearly aware of its range, and started pacing near my flower beds like she was searching for something, or planting something. That's when I knew. This wasn't just harassment. This was a setup. The next morning, I upgraded everything. 4K motion-sensitive night vision cameras, audio triggers, a hidden mic in my birdhouse. And then, I set the trap. I rigged a string near my hydrangeas, camouflaged it against the soil, connected to a small motion-triggered siren and a backup spotlight. I laid out my tools like bait, moved a fake wallet into plain sight, and left my gate slightly ajar, just enough to tempt her. And then I waited. 1 day. 2. On the 3rd night, she returned, like clockwork. Only this time, my cameras caught every frame. She entered from the back alley, climbed my fence like a seasoned burglar, and began prowling. But this time, the trap was set. Her foot caught the string. The siren screamed. Lights exploded across the yard. And Karen screamed like she'd seen a ghost, stumbled backwards and tripped into my compost bin. I had her, every angle, every sound. Her voice as she cursed under her breath. The moment she picked up the wallet. The panic when the lights hit her. The next morning, I didn't call her. I didn't confront her. I uploaded everything to a secure drive, emailed my lawyer, and sent a courtesy copy to the HOA board. Within 24 hours, the president called me personally, stammering apologies. We had no idea. We thought the complaints were valid. Oh, but the story didn't end there. Karen, desperate to save face, claimed I had lured her onto my property, that I had set her up. But the footage told a different tale, one the local news station was more than happy to air once the police got involved. She was charged with trespassing, attempted theft, harassment, and violating multiple HOA regulations. Her perfect reputation? Gone. Her pristine garden? Wilted from the shame? And her house? Listed for sale within a month. But here's the twist. Before she moved out, I received one final envelope from the HOA. Inside was a formal apology and a check. Not just for damages, but as part of a community settlement after it was revealed that Karen had filed over 45 false complaints against various neighbors. They wanted to avoid a lawsuit, but I wasn't interested in the money. I wanted the truth known. I posted the video online. It went viral. Millions of views, comments pouring in from around the world. You caught a real-life villain. This is the most satisfying video ever. And my favorite? Justice served with a camera lens. Now, every night I sleep peacefully. My cameras still run. Not because I'm afraid, but because I know the power of proof. And Karen? Well, rumor has it she tried the same stunt in another neighborhood 2 towns over. Only this time, the HOA president already knew her name. So when they saw her at the open house, they passed. No one wants a wolf in pearls prowling their yard at 3 a.m. And me? I sip my coffee on my patio each morning, glance at the garden where it all went down, and smile. Not just because I won, but because I planned it. I waited, I trapped, I caught everything on camera. And when she snuck into my backyard that night, she thought she was the hunter. She didn't realize she was the prey.